Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. This is a paid request from my good friend Efree. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, out of blueness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And he wanted me to talk about, he sent me a video about 30 minutes long where it was a guy who did a really good job talking about the development hell of the Goon. Now, for those who don't know, the Goon is a comic book that is kind of, they described it as Goodfellas meets Army of Darkness. You have my attention. But it takes place in sort of the, remember that movie The Untouchables? The days of Al Capone and like that type of era. But you have characters that kind of like Goodfellas type of characters, but then there's zombies, robots, vampires, redneck werewolves, all sorts of crazy shit. I think Dark Horse Comics made it, and the two people involved were Tim Miller, who directed the first Deadpool, and Jeff Fowler. I mean, why does that name sound familiar? He's the guy who did the Sonic the Hedgehog movie later on. So the guy who went on to do the Sonic movie, and I think he's doing the sequel, and then Tim Miller did Deadpool, the first one. They got together, they wanted to do this for their company Blur. It'd be done in CG. Looked really good, too. Because you had test footage, the designs, the way it moved. And then for the test, they got two actors to voice the characters. Clancy Brown, which I like Clancy Brown from Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai and Highlander, and just a really good actor. Pet Sematary 2 I always remember because no brain, no pain. I think he's like the best part of that movie. But Clancy Brown is the lead. Paul Giamatti from, I mean, Howard Stern's Private Parts to Shoot 'Em Up, did a great job in that, as the sidekick. And they did this test footage that looked wonderful. And then they even had a trailer in like 2010 for Comic-Con, and David Fincher would produce it. So it's not really, you say David Fincher's the Goon, it makes it seem as if he's directing it, but he would have been producing it and hands-on the project, really wanted it to work. They were looking for financing, they tried Kickstarter, all this stuff. They even, I guess, it went on for years and years, people put in the Kickstarter. They even talked with, and sadly this guy has passed away, John Schnepp. John Schnepp seemed like a cool guy. He did a fantastic documentary called The Death of Superman Lives, which to me is one of the best documentaries. I love The Death of Superman Lives. I love that documentary. It makes me want to rewatch it again now that I say that. I really want to rewatch that documentary. I don't know how to find it. I gotta remember where I put it. I think I put it in there. But I definitely gotta watch that again because I love that documentary. The Death of Superman Lives. But yeah, sadly he's passed away. And talk about, oh, you know, it's going, but if it seems like it's finally get going. But, and it was understandable. They said, you know, we put $500,000 of our own money into it, but the studios are still saying no because they want something that's more of a sequel, or they want to see, hey, that movie and that movie was a hit, so this movie's in comparison with that. A movie that would have been R-rated about zombies and Goodfellas and like all this, it was a hard movie to sell because people don't want to take chances. And sadly, they're right, because think of the films that are popular even nowadays. Scream 5, Spider-Man, No Way Home. Next will probably be The Batman, Doctor Strange 2. I read off that list one time of the top 10 biggest hits of last year. It was like Fast and Furious 9 and Spider-Man No Way Home and Shang-Chi and Black Widow and more. Studios don't want to finance it, and sadly, a lot of times, if they try, those films end up bombing anyway. So, what can you do? By the way, let me go on a tangent with this whole Kickstarter thing. When has Kickstarter ever worked in a positive manner? This is a sincere question. I don't really go to any Kickstarters or anything or Indiegogo. Because I asked you, how many times have those been a successful venture where the final product comes out or something comes out, and even if that something comes out, it's something that you're happy with? I'm just curious. Because either, again, they don't succeed and they fail embarrassing levels of failure. I remember there was this thing with Dragon's Lair where Don Bluth and another guy, they wanted to do this thing on Dragon's Lair, and the Kickstarter was to do a pitch meeting. Not even, oh, we want $500,000 to do a pitch meeting. A pitch meeting? For $500,000, you better give me a blowjob and a film. Or, animated, fucking $500,000. And then they got off of it because the thing about Kickstarter, you want to be able to actually give people something that they could actually see. And if you paid like $75 or more, you could see the pitch meeting. So over half the people would get jack shit, even if it was successful. And there's just a lot of crooked stuff on Kickstarter. They use it. This whole thing, when I talk about the Intellivision Amico, where that was a video game system and would not go crowdfund. Now they are crowdfunding. And more than likely that product will never come out, and if it ever does, it'll be something that people didn't think it would be in the first place. And that was a video I did weeks before. I just didn't get a chance to upload it, and more shit came to light. Where it's even worse than you think. What was that one Kickstarter Indiegogo? There was like a video game where the guys from Mega Man made a game that was like Mega Man. And then it came out, Mighty Number 9, I think it was called. That was successful. It came out and it was total dog shit. And people played it, thought it was total dog shit. And all the shit they were supposed to get, like manuals and this and stuff, they were all fucked up. Oh well, we got your money anyway. It's like, really? Really? What the fuck? That's what I mean, like... And even some of these other stuff. Like, what happened... I know there's been a pandemic, but what about all those campaigns with the... Like, all those documentaries that were supposed to be made? I know there's going to be like a RoboCop documentary, there's going to be a Police Academy documentary, a documentary on Stephen King's It... a documentary on like Robert Englund, a documentary on Return of the Living Dead, from the same fucking company. I mean, company, you're starting like 5, 7 fucking documentaries. Or those guys that made that fucking Ninja Turtles documentary. What was the word they used? I'm like, what? There was a certain word they used. It was not official, not essential. God, I forgot what. Definitive documentary, but most of the history is missing from it. Because you don't talk about 2003 cartoon. You don't even talk about the 2012 cartoon. You don't talk about the second and third movie except for 1 minute total on both, just to say one sucks and the third film is better. And I'm like, you don't talk about the 2007 movie. You don't talk about how John Woo at one point wanted to produce the movie. You don't talk about any of this shit. But yeah, definitive. Really definitive. And we're going to do a sequel, and that's been like 5 years now. No more. Because that's when the 2014 film came out, and they said they want to do a sequel, so it's been 8 years. 8 years. Yeah, keep holding your breath for that sequel, guys. Keep holding your breath. You'll look like a smurf. So, I guess my point is, like, do Kickstarters, does any shit ever work? Does any of that ever work? Was there some TV show that got Kickstarted for another season and came out and was dog shit? Like, I think either they don't work, or they seem like a scam, or they barely get anything out of it, or the remarkable bit that they do get something out of it, it's dog shit. So, this is why I don't go. What happened to that one? There was going to be a sci-fi movie documentary by the guys who made those horror documentaries, In Search of Darkness. And then they did In Search of Darkness 2, which was leftover footage from the first one. So they could have included it, but they said, nah, we're not going to include it so we can get a second one and get more money out of you. And it costs like a fucking $100 or something. I'm like, not paying $100 for a documentary. Okay, it wasn't that much, to be fair. It was close. Like 80, maybe. I ain't paying $80 for a documentary. Fuck out of here. So, I saw the first one of that because on Cool News there was something about, hey, who wants to see an early screening or like an early version because they want critiques. And I was able to get it on Vimeo, like a rental for free to watch and critique, and I did. And I'm like, this is shit. And this is what you could change. Where's this movie? Where's this movie? Where's this movie? And then they added some of them back in, apparently, for what I've been told by other people. But they were doing like a sci-fi movie documentary that apparently even like Leviathan was going to be in it. I'd be curious about that, but I don't want to pay that much fucking money for it. All I want to hear is about Leviathan and maybe Runaway with Tom Selleck, but I'm not paying that much money for it. So if anyone sees it, if it ever comes out, please let me know what they said. But I guess my point is, like, this whole Kickstarter, like, how many times is that? It seems like there's more failures than successes with that. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. But, I mean, getting back to this, what killed it was that Disney bought Fox. And when Disney bought Fox, there was a lot of projects, and they got cut. I still remember there was talk that there was an anime Alien vs. Predator movie that was made. That was, again, anime and R-rated. Just put into some vault now. Never see the light of day. Why don't they release it? Because it's Disney. Disney doesn't want R-rated, gore, but no, we don't want that. We're Disney. We need shit for our Disney Plus. Which I heard some of those Netflix shows. How the hell is The Punisher going to play on Disney Plus? I don't know. The film seemed pretty cool. I mean, Clancy Brown, Paul Giamatti seem like great choices for voices. I don't know what the specific story of this would be. Like, obviously, I guess they're still hoping one day somehow they'll make it. I don't think they ever will. By this point, I think that's a far-gone conclusion. It'll never happen. But they didn't really give all the details of the plot away. But I mean, the thing is that if you do that the wrong way, you get R.I.P.D. with Ryan Reynolds. Granted, this is animation, so that will work better with that craziness. But I'm just saying that it may sound weird and crazy, but R.I.P.D. on paper sounds weird and crazy, but the way you did it came off as a shitty movie, shitty ripoff of Men in Black. So of course, I mean, but again, people like David Fincher being involved would be interesting. I still remember when David Fincher was going to direct World War Z 2. I would love to have seen that. That would have been very curious. Because I like World War Z with Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt's worked with David Fincher on films like Seven. And I'd be curious to see what they would do with that. David Fincher wanted to do a Spider-Man movie. Maybe it would have been more interesting than the Spider-Man films we got. I don't know. But this, yeah, it would have been interesting to see. Seemed like an intriguing idea. Seemed like the animation was going to be on point. They had some good voice actors to start with. And again, Disney bought Fox, and Disney wanted stuff that was a little bit more family friendly, and mainly stuff that was more commercially viable for them, as in franchises. Pixar is a franchise on itself. You say the name Pixar, gets people interested. Marvel, Star Wars. Now it's going to be Predator, Alien. What franchise do we have that we can milk out of it? That's what it is. It's a business tactic. It's them sitting down with the paper. What franchises do Fox have? Alien, Predator, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Okay, do something with this. Potential dollars, potential money making. We need to get some. We spent a lot of money on this. A lot of money. We want to start making some of that money back. So milk this, built this, built this. The Goon. No one knows what the Goon is, so scratch that out. Nope. Scratch it. Nope. So that's what happens. You get people like Disney involved. I also put Nickelodeon, Paramount in that. I put like almost every fucking company in that. Because it is a business at the end of the day. Because if their films don't make money, they get fired. And they're afraid of losing their jobs. Which is understandable to a point. It is. And, you know, some people, it's like, when these movies don't make money, that's not the company's fault. So yeah, I mean, it was an interesting video. Type in Development Hell, The Goon on YouTube. You'll find it. Very well edited. Narrator that I put it together again very well. All the footage, interviews with David Fincher and Tim Miller and them throughout the years. Again, very well put together video. Let me see. Let me get the guy, his YouTube name, who did this. Sorry, I want to get his name because he deserves it. Get his channel name. Once my internet gets to it, says it takes forever. But yeah, the Goon potentially could have been a fun project. So of course it doesn't get made. Super Void Cinema. Super Void Cinema. Movie adaptation of Eric Powell's cult comic book The Goon, co-directed by Tim Miller and Jeff Fowler of Blur Studios. Original screenplay by Eric Powell. Clancy Brown, Paul Giamatti provide the voices for this test. Again, very nice job on the editing to Super Void Cinema. I mean, if it ever does get made, maybe, I don't know, maybe Netflix? That'd be its only last chance, I would say, is Netflix. But with the way Netflix does stuff, could I really put my trust in Netflix? Every once in a while, I enjoyed Bright. I enjoyed Dolomite Is My Name. I liked The Extraction with Chris Hemsworth. I did every once in a while. A dog, you know, the sun shines on a dog's ass every once in a while. But yeah, if it has any amount of, maybe Netflix. But yeah, this guy did a great job putting the video together. Definitely check it out. Much better than this video would ever be. Super Voice Cinema. You know, someone wrote, they wowed the studios with their pitch, and the studios went, looks great, we'd love to see it. So you'll fund it? Nope. Yeah, that happens. It looks great, but we don't want to take that chance because we could be dropped in the shitter. And again, people are like, who greenlit this? You did? You greenlit it? Well, then you're fired. And that's the truth. That's what happens. So. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Like, I mean, the Goon seems like a cool comic. Again, the animation looked really nice. It's like I remember seeing that test animation for Popeye, the movie, and this was years ago. And I know, even I've said it, that it seems like, what was that one fucking movie, the Emoji Movie? Like, oh man, they canceled this, but they did the Emoji Movie. In a way, that is true. I mean, maybe not some of the details as said before, but it just makes you go, man, you could have just fucking, you could have just said no to the Emoji Movie and just put the money into a Popeye movie, and that would have been much better. That's some of the decisions some people make. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But anyway, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.